It's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for August 2022. So on Saturday, August 20th, we have Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, even our anger, moving out of the fixed, low, and slow earth energy of Taurus and moving into the air energy of Gemini. So this is going to be quite a shift. I want to also let you know that this is going to be a very long energy. Normally, Mars spends about maybe 2 months in a sign, but this time it's taken us right into 2023. Why is that? Because Mars is going to go retrograde from October 30th to January 12th. That's right, we are going to spend a whole lot of time with Mars in Gemini energy. So this is a very important transit. This is going to be a total game changer for the path or the direction that we thought we were walking, good, bad, and otherwise. And I want to give a shout out to Aries, Scorpio, Gemini, and Sagittarius. This particular transit will likely affect you guys the most, mostly being because Mars rules over Aries and Scorpio, and because it's taking place in Gemini, of course, that's going to be a huge factor. And the opposite of Gemini is Sagittarius, so we want to bring the Sages in as well. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Mars essentially is the way that we pursue and aggress ourselves in life to go after what it is that we want. This is our physical energy, like I said, our drive, where it is that we're inspired and motivated. But in Gemini energy, we're doing this in the mental plane. So we are multifaceted, multi-talented in this particular energy. We are going to probably lose a little bit of our focus though, and probably lose our determination. Now, we were very focused, very determined while Mars was in Taurus. We had the blinders on, but it was so freaking low and slow that we weren't as, I'd say, productive as we would like in bringing to life some elements that we were really looking to build and create. Now, we are going to totally shift gears, again, picking up speed a little bit, moving into the mental plane, but we have to remember that Gemini energy takes us to the extremes, right? So black, white, up, down, hot, cold, in order for us to debate those extremes to find a common ground, a middle ground, a grounded point that we can operate from. Now, is this going to be fun? Probably not. This energy is going to be very hard to harness. First of all, Mars is a fire energy, very impulsive, only wants to look forward, yielding that sword, cutting through any obstacles that stand in our way, very focused. But in this Gemini energy, we start acting a little bit strange. The squirrels are on the battlefield. We start paying attention to the squirrels. We start getting a little bit scattered. We are holding our sword up, about to slash through an obstacle. And then all of a sudden, out of the corner of our eye, we're like, maybe I should explore this before I cut through this particular option. The downside is that we may be so scatterbrained, so unfocused, so undetermined that we don't essentially get anything done. Now, that's not to say that we won't see any kind of growth or improvement, but it's going to be in a different way. We have to strategize. And in this mental plane energy of Gemini, we have a lot of questions. We need a lot of answers. We are, definitely divided in our focus and our interests. And what this is really going to do is focus on the way that we communicate, the way that we think, the way that we express ourselves. Now, here's the thing. We are entering into the battlefield of the mind, okay? And because Mars is very passionate, we are likely going to be speaking out, communicating, and truly expressing what it is that we are passionate about. Now, does that sound like a bad thing? No, not necessarily, except for we, in Gemini energy, look to have debates, look to play devil's advocate. And as you may know, if you take a look out around the collective, we're already pretty divided in the world. People are easily triggered. People are easily angered. People are easily willing to stand up for what it is that they believe in. They're not willing to budge. This Gemini energy wants to explore all different sides, all different angles, but in the quest of that, could find ourselves in a position where we may be very passionate about one thing in a conversation where we're expressing ourselves with that passion and interest and really get in a conflict because of our communication styles, because we're very aggressive, we're very sure about ourselves. And also, like I said, we're kind of playing devil's advocate. We don't mind a good debate. We don't even mind being the agitator in a conversation to try and open up somebody else's mind to something that they're not really open to, which of course could end super freaking badly. What we're super good at is mental effing, okay? We can mind F someone into thinking what we think or believing what we believe very easily. We are master mind manipulators under this energy because Mars, being the god of war in the intellectual battlefield, knows how to talk, knows how to communicate in a way that actually would make you excited to go in a direction. I always say, like, I'm somebody that can tell you where to go and how to get there, and you'd be happy to jump on, even knowing that I'm trying to tell you basically to F off. This is exactly the energy that I'm talking about. This is a great time for strategizing. This is a great time for, using our logic, our practicality, our experience, data, statistics, information to build a perfect plan to our desires and to our goals. But we're so unfocused that we can get derailed at any time, especially if it means engaging in a debate that will likely light the fire under our ass and probably the asses of others. So we have to be very, very careful of how we manage this energy. We are super resourceful, super clever. We're very knowledgeable, very interested in learning about different things under this energy, but our words can cut like a knife, right? So Mars, being the god of war, yielding that sword, our tongue now becomes that sword, both for good and for bad. That's why we have to learn how to balance this energy super, super effectively. So we are going to have to kind of maneuver our way through our mental plane in order for us to get on the right page with our heart and our head. But even more so, we're going to be stimulated, if you will, by our outer realm, especially up until Mars goes retrograde. At that particular point, it is more of an inward journey, reflecting back, reviewing, revising. But we have a huge chunk of time before that happens. And so this is going to be an interesting situation to watch unfold on the global stage, because let me just tell you, information and details are coming out fast and furious that is totally going to overthrow the game that we've all been playing, totally divide us even further, which is not a good thing, but it needs to be explosively communicated that, the lies, the betrayal, the deception that has already taken place needs to come full circle. People need to get upset. We're building towards a revolution here. I don't know if you're aware, but a revolution is coming. And this is how a revolution is born. So we're going to have a lot of information take place on the global stage that, Mars being in Gemini. Oh boy, wait till you see the headlines that come out underneath this influence. But in our own individual lives, we're going to see the drama. We're going to see the clarity. We're going to see the opportunities to both use our communication styles, our information, our words to charm our way through particular situations in order for us to get what we want. Again, Mars is the way that we pursue, the way that we aggress ourselves to get to our desires. And we're also going to see how we are being a little bit triggered and activated to express our frustrations, our irritations, and mostly our anger in a new way. Now, this is going to be a hot topic because Mars, again, the line between passion and anger is very, very thin. It is good for many of us to be using our throat chakra, in order to express our deepest, darkest truths, our deepest, darkest anger, because many of us hold that in and all it's doing is creating dis-ease in our bodies. But we have to be mindful because Mars doesn't have very good restraint, right? It's like balls to the walls and then some. And then we can almost regret what it is that we did at that particular point when we didn't have, I'm going to say, good discipline over our energy. And we can create a shitstorm for ourselves as well. So we're going to want to be mindful about that. We are chatty Cathys under this Gemini energy. We are storytellers. We are entertainers. Keep in mind, we're still in Leo season, although it is coming to an end. And Leo season is the entertainer of the zodiac, wants the spotlight, has a story to tell. And, you know, Mars is going to kind of carry this particular energy on in a different way throughout the months that we're about to jump into, where he will be in Gemini energy. We're highly passionate, super enthusiastic about a certain topic, about a certain theme, about a certain idea. Again, we almost want to bully people into understanding what we understand, what we want them to believe in, what we want them to think. And this is why I say pay attention, not only to your individual life and how this energy is manifesting within you, but watch how this unfolds on the collective stage. It is going to be super freaking interesting. So yeah, I'm not going to get too much into how the energy shifts when Mars actually goes retrograde. We'll cover that when it gets closer to that time. Again, we're going to be able to make a fair amount of, I'm going to say, progress in the Gemini energy. We will go through a huge chunk of degrees before we even have to worry about Mars going retrograde, but it is going to be a dramatic shift. And it's going to be a long one because, again, it takes us into 2023. So this would be a prime time to go ahead, if you haven't already, and watch What the Fact, where I talked about the moon events, how to look up where the moon event is taking place in your chart, because you can do the exact same thing with planetary placements. Go ahead, watch the video, figure out where Mars moving into Gemini is going to affect your chart. Where it is setting up shop in your chart is going to be the house, the topic, the theme, the area of your life that will be most affected by Mars being in Gemini. It is going to be a very long transit, but is going to bring us, I'm going to say, full circle with the inner debate that we have to have, again, with the extremes to find that middle ground. And it's also going to be game changing because, again, what happens on the great grand global stage is going to totally take the collective in a different direction by the time Mars, A, comes out of his retrograde and goes direct again, and B, wraps up this Gemini energy and prepares to do a deep dive into Cancer.